No, we didn't check then. Swear to God, we finna get all this money. Watch what I tell you.
My eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean every day they so. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean. And I say I shit. I gotta say I shit. I shit. And I say I shit. Elegba, Oshun, and Obatala. And I say I shit. Mokio, I shit, and I say I shit, and Oya, and Shango, and Yemoja. I got it, currency in my pocket, nature around my neck, front and center I rock it. Never tuck them, so folk wanna touch them, they need to stop it. Trying to find them on lines like mine, you never cop it. My eleke is living, reason why I be winning. Jealous of my position, but I'm just at the beginning. Demonizing the forces, no intercourses I'm giving. Christians feel like I'm sinning the way the heavens be bending for me. I'm in the flow, I get the dough, I'm giving more, it's reciprocal. Every dose could be poison or be medicinal. Truth is blatant to those who know what to listen for. Yep, a treasure chest in every mic check. Steady in the altitude and we ain't on the flight jet. Calling me the champion, I ain't even won the fight yet. Mooch is sticking to us for that juju that they might get. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean every day they so. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean. And I say I shit. Somebody say I shit. I shit. And I say I shit. Egongo, Babalawo, and Ita. And I say I shit. Mokio. I shit. And I say I shit. Ochosi, Ogun, and Orumila.
I got them holy beads around my neck. Them sacred guides on deck. Yep, it gets protection all around. Kosi Wahala, big blessings abound. I'm open to receive all the things this universe is laid at my feet, and I'm walking yellow brick road and laid with gold. Oh yeah, I get it from my mama, she reigning on her throne. La de Koju, Oriye Oshun, Hell Sweet Water Goddess, keep that blade and some honey. Lord, she just keep going, hard to stop when she gets started. A river flowing, anointed from head to toe, baptized. Got Orisha by my side, then my eagle all around. Ain't nothing stopping me now, full force on them, full glow on them. Spirit realm said go, so I move for them, a walking altar.
And I say I shit. I shit. And I say I shit. And I say I shit. I shit. And I say I shit. And I say I shit. I shit. And I say I shit. And I say I shit. I shit. And I say I shit. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean every day they so. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean.
Yeah, let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo! You done hit him, Baba. 10, 2, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. God. 20. Good day. Who this messing my count up? Alive for you, bruh. I told you we was gonna hit. Yeah. Shoot, I'm counting me and Baba out right now. I'm waiting on Sunday to come out, hit her. We good. She finding out right now. We checking in. Hold on. Good. About to hit him again.
All right, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of Be Radio Place for Now. Who's born? Your host now. I'm here with one who is no stranger. Okay, no stranger to this platform. When I first started, he was one of the first people that I reached out to. One of my brothers, one of my teachers that I've received guidance from over the years. Saved my life a couple of times. You understand what I'm saying? Definitely no stranger to what we do and how we do what we do. So it become my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present to others, and welcome back to this platform. You know, I called him delinquent for a little while. You understand what I'm saying? But he's no longer delinquent in the public. My Baba in the building. Lafayette to you, Baba. How you feeling?
I feel great, man. I feel great. Good to see you again.
Definitely. Rather be seen than viewed. That's what the old folks used to tell me. Say, I'd rather be seen than viewed. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what's the word?
So how you been? How you been before we get into everything?
Been busy. Just stand on course with what we do. You know what we do over here. You know, with the ELA, with the classes, teaching, schooling, stay on top of my Ifá work, Egbe work, doing a lot of initiations and stuff coming up this year. Had a few of them last year. Last year we started back up the Ifá prep. You know, it's been in circulation for about 6 years now. So we started back up, and we've been rolling. Got some good students, some good ELA members, some people that's on deck that's working with me. So we just staying busy, man. Staying busy with divination, staying busy with the abos, staying busy with the schooling, the teaching, just trying to keep that balance, also have a little fun here and there.
That's real.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you ever shared it here, but your journey, like I know you from a whole lot of different circles. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So ultimately, what was it that was the deciding factor about this way of life that you live, this lifestyle that you live now in the ATRs, in the traditions?
Well, you know where I started. Well, how me and you met back in when I was doing a lot of esoteric occult lectures, traveling with on the circuit, underground circuit with Brother Bobby Hammett, and a few others. Back in the days, Dr. Africa, a few others. I had the circuit here in my city in St. Louis, so we did that for a while. I taught a lot back then, traveled around. I went into a lot of esoteric, deep occult knowledge and information. But one thing I never forgot is back in the probably in 2000 on 99, around that time, 98, is the feeling I would get and the results I would get when working with Orisha. And I never forgot that. I never forgot a lot of the results I got. Although I worked with a lot of different systems and stuff with chaos magic and things of that nature back then, but I never forgot the ultimate feeling I got with the Orisha. Then the other thing it was that I also remember when my father, when I was in high school in the early 90s, my father had traveled to Africa and he went to Nigeria, and that's where he said he found our family there. So I never forgot those things. And so I always been here and there, with the spiritual work and the spiritual lessons and the history. It all started back when I was a youth with the, basically history. I know at 13 that, that wasn't it. Christianity wasn't it for me. I knew that didn't belong to our people per se. I knew that something was up with that. I joined on to the Nation of Islam back then. as a young man coming into the nation from 13 up to about 17 years old, standing on the corner selling bean pies, selling papers, and I kind of drifted off from there and moved into the nation of gods and earths, the 5%ers, what people call the 5%ers. So I was around the gods a long time, and one thing that really hit me was it was always the lessons, how far away is the sun from the earth, what's the circumference of the earth, and all these different things, all these different cosmic degrees, these lessons, 120-degree lessons. And when studying those lessons, I was like, man, there's something to that. And one of my brothers that was in the nation put me on to this book called The Metal Netter now, because he was one of those guys that, he was on the 120, but he was always leaning over here to the metaphysical side and things of that nature. So we went into a store. He got the book for me. We walked out the store. He handed it to me, said, hey, this is a gift to you. I was like, what? So from that point on, I started diving deep, and I found out there was some people in my area that was involved deeply in the Soul Set Society, and so they invited me to a couple of ceremonies, rituals. I had some hang-ups in my life at that time. I was young. I was running around wild and doing things, and had some hang-ups. And one of my brother knew. He had said, man, come over here and start doing these hekkas with me. Don't start doing these meditations with me. So, man, you get through the situation. And sometimes it'd be like the hardest situations in life that make you have to look for something to get you out of it. Some of those things where your back is up against the wall and you know what to do. So I was looking for any way out, So one of the brothers in around at the time in the Soul Set Society had told me about some different rituals and things of that nature, and I went and started working on them, and they worked. Got me through the situation. I started drifting off and diving more into the metaphysics and things of that nature, than the esoteric and the occult, the dark, quote unquote, dark side of things. And I was like, man, all this shit belong to us, and I was really figuring that out. Some of the shrines that we were setting up, and I was already in Babalawo mode even before I was a Babalawo, because I was inviting people to my house for rituals and things of that nature, whoop-de-woo, this, that, and third. We was drumming, circling, feasting together, things of that nature. So as time went on, I never forgot that. And I was still working with Orisha, and then I started dealing with some people in Palo, and I had to move. I was going to move from St. Louis. I moved down to Atlanta. I think that's when you and I spoke back then, about 10 years back. And I went down to Atlanta, and I had did a divination to find out what Atlanta was going to look like for me and my family at the time. And it was like, this is the way, and they kept talking about structure. I'm like, structure? What are they talking about, right? So when I got down there, I ran into one chief, Shola, now Baba Shola, for Shola, who it's like as soon as I got there, it's like I ran into him, and he was coming out of I was leaving out of a restaurant. He was coming in, and he had a Ifakolade on and said Ifa on it, and I was like, I stopped him. I talked to him for a second. He gave me his information, and me and him started hanging out. He invited me to Oshun Festival. I went there with my family. We all, like, it was lit. It was lit. So I just started, getting structure. And me at the time, I felt like my magic was powerful and it always worked, but it was like, I'm gonna go ahead and roll with this. And when Baba Shola had texted and said, did y'all want to join into the Elay or whatever, I was like, yeah. I went to my SU and I said, yeah, through the shells, and it's like, yeah, SU, like, yeah. So I went with the spirit, and I followed through with that. I ended up moving back to St. Louis. And when I came back to St. Louis, I got hooked up with another Babalawo who was from down in Florida, and he came through, and basically he lived with me for almost a year. But before that, we talked on the phone by video every morning. He showed me stuff. He taught me stuff every day. And he came to my city. He actually lived with me, and he got me up every morning at 4 a.m. And he gave me a lot of structure, with how this thing goes. And I give a shout out to Baba Ejiobe. He was one of the ones that I feel like if it wasn't for him, my work wouldn't be as efficient as it is. So he gave me good work ethics. He showed me a lot. We hung out. We were brothers. We were friends, and we even fought sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But he was the one who really put the smack down as far as the work ethic. Be in this room at 4 a.m. He was telling me what time to be in a certain room in my house. And I had to humble myself, and I did. And if I was 1 minute late, I went off on bad. I got even if I got there late and he wasn't up yet. But it was excruciating, but it was good. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So he gave me a lot. He really structured me on the work ethic, and then he ended up having to leave. So he left, and then it was a sister here in my city, Dr. Yele Kamari. She basically had an Ile, and then I went got initiated, pushed through that. But before I got initiated to Ifa, I got initiated to Egbe by Baba Ejiobe back then. And when I got through initiating the Egbe, we was working hard. And then a few months later, almost 6 months later, I was initiated to Ifa. So then that's how I went, brother. And from that point, I've been working. Baba Ejiobe was the one who really pushed the information and teaching element on Ifa, because I was always teaching, that. But the teaching of Ifa, he really pushed that, and he always was like on the level where he was talking about learning all this information, learning how to do this, that, and the third before you get into all this, before you go all the way in. So you'll know when somebody's casting things and you're looking at it, you seeing the divination, you will know what it is. So you'll be I can just pull wool over your eyes. So he got me ready, and I realized that he told me a few things back then. He said, if you teach, if you learn about Egungun, if you learn about Egbe, and you Egungun, Egbe, and Ori, he said that's your foundation. And he told me that. He said, if you got that, even if you don't got nothing else, if you got your destiny and you got your ancestors and you got your Egbe, then you good. He said it's good to go Ifa, it's good to go Shango. But he said that was it, and he pushed that on me, So he really kind of pushed it where he was like, do your classes. At some point, and I immediately started. Once I got back, I started, divining, and if I say do the classes. When, Ifa? Next month, 2 months? No. Tomorrow. So I listened, I heard, and I had my son to, help me out, drop some flyers with me. I threw it on the Instagram, threw it on the Facebook, and people came to the class. And after that, more people came, and I did that. And as time transpired and I was dealing with some things, I went on, slowed it down for a minute, got back grounded, and then shot back out there again, So we've been building.
So what was that process like for you? You kind of touched on it, but we know each other as the wild men in the woods. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like putting structure to the wild man in the woods. You know what I'm saying? What was that like? And then teaching modality outside versus a teaching modality on the inside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't no stranger to structure because, number one, my mother was very structural. And then I went to military school. So, but after school, I still got wild, it was in me. And then learning the science and the cult, the esoteric stuff, it was like free fall. The gods and the earth, that's always freedom. So it's all about we do what we want to do, based off our lessons. So it was always that. But so I had structure. The nation had structure. But after leaving all of that and then getting free and getting wild and learning about the chaos and all this other stuff, it's like, okay, I'm here now and I feel good. I feel free and I can do whatever I want. But it's always like I say, it was all that always that feeling. So getting into the structure with Baba Ejiobe was good. It was really good for me. And being I'm a soldier, I don't fold. Some people fold it. A lot of people say I'm getting the hell away from him because that's the type of person he is. He teach hard, he go hard, and that's just the type of person he is. And that's what I needed because I'm hard. So in the essence of that, I was like, okay, it was the structure was good. It made me at some points it made me angry. But I always know that it was something that I wanted. So it was something that I desired to have from him, the knowledge and information and the work that I wanted to learn. And that overrode all of that anger, all of that frustration. I said, I'm on a mission. I gotta get this. I gotta get there. And when I dealt with it, I said, well, I will deal with it. And that was my sacrifice. I had to sacrifice my own self in order to get the knowledge and the information and the ashe, because he gave me. I mean, everybody's born with ashe, but he gave me some ashe. He put ashe on my head. So I never forget that. I called him up. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's in another country right now. But I called him up not long ago through Instagram, I believe, and he answered the phone, and I had to give him his props, man. And he was like, "Man, what's wrong with you? What's going on? You good? What's all this stuff? Something happened?" I'm like, "No, man. I'm just giving your props, man. I wouldn't even be nowhere where I am if it wasn't for you." It was other people, like I said, played big parts in my life when it came to this tradition, but he played the biggest part, and I give honor to all of them, all respect to all my elders, who played their part, but he was the one. I was always into the science and the occult magic and all that kind of stuff. So based off of that, the hands-on shit is where I want to be. And he put it right there, and he gave me the corpus too, the corpus of Odu, lessons. I watched them divine every day, you know. So that was it.
Now, if you was to look back on the experiences on the outside versus the inside, how much misconception do you think, as a practitioner versus somebody who was doing what we would title as self-style wisdom? You understand what I'm saying? A lot
Hmm.
of the looky loo, not really having an understanding or a grounding. The comparison between what it was, chaos magic versus with the structure. How would you rate the whole situation?
I think for me it was good because it helped me, but it's a dangerous game. It's really it's a hit and miss, and I say that based off the fact that whenever you're dealing with that kind of stuff, you're shooting craps, you're gambling, you hoping it works. Because let's be honest. Outside of the knowledge and the foundation of the nation of gods and earths and all that, then going into the esoteric, the solar society, then moving into what we call this self-style wisdom, chaos magic, people doing this, that, and third. Uh, what really got me is most of that stuff we don't even know the foundation of. That's the truth of the matter. So we don't know the foundation. So even and there's no knock to the ancient Kemetic wisdom because it's there, but we really don't have nobody there that really can tell us what it really was and what it is because those people are wiped. They're not there anymore. There's no priesthood there anymore. But you can go to Yoruba land. You can go to Nigeria right now, and there's people there and family members and bloodline that's been there since day one, and they still there. There's many elays. There's many houses, temples, and cities, and the bloodline of Oduduwa is still there. The people still the only Ife is still there. The people of Ibadan they're still there. Oyo, the people of Shango are still there. So we know that is one of the things that made a difference for me. because once learning the truth of the matter, what Ifa is, what Egbe is, what Onisheshe is, that our tradition of our ancestors, and knowing that there's people there that's still holding that right there, that they not wiped off, that it ain't just some stuff that people put in the books and saying that this is what it is, that you're learning from an oral tradition, and you learn, it's not a self-styled wisdom. It's not nothing that we guessing at. It's not chaos magic. We are diviners, and it's Otito, it's the truth. So that's the difference. And in learning the structure of that and having elders, that you at their feet and they teaching you and you learning and that, well, I know I can't go back to Necronomicon land. I know we can't go back to, you can go to Egypt and you can go there, you can see the pyramids and what our people did was beautiful, but the reality, where's the people that have the system? Because right now we have E. Wallace Budge, who wrote all those books on trying to break the Rosetta Stone and different things of that nature, and trying to break down what the hieroglyphs were saying, these different things were saying, and we really don't know. We really don't know it to be true. And even some scholars would say, even some esteemed Pan-African scholars would even say, we really don't know. We don't even know if that is real, if that was legit, if that is on point or not. We don't know, because there ain't nobody there to say it is. Because remember, the ancient Kemites, the dark-skinned ones, most of them, white. That the system white, and most of it's in Rome and spread all through Europe. In the Vatican's and all that. So they got a lot of the information, a lot of the system. They run the world with it, and they do run the world with it. But we don't have nothing that can even compare to the traditions that come out of Africa, or even some of the indigenous works in America, where there has been people who are there, or the bloodlines are still there, that's been passed down from great grandmother, great grandfather, great great grandmother, great great grandfather, and saying this is the bloodline, this is how it is, this is how we do it, this is how we've been doing it. So when you look at the calendar, Ile Ife, or the calendar in our Yoruba calendar of our tradition, minimum it's almost 11,000 years just on the calendar, just on the calendar. And that's just the recorded calendar history. We're talking about going beyond that, but we're talking about the recorded calendar history is there. We know it's there. The people still there. So when things get from here to there and is there, and we guesstimating all these different traditions, then it's like we kind of guessing at it, and we know that we are those people. We know that's our people. We know that's our family. We know that's who they are. But do we really know the tradition? Is there anybody that's there still that can say, or are we just saying that, okay, we're just going to try to decode what these people are telling us this is, and we really don't know? So that was one of the main things that really got me, was the knowing that there are still people that's still there, that I talk to, that I can talk to, that I'm learning up under, that I'm still learning up under to this day, that are still there, that's been there from the beginning. They family members, my family, our family members, been there from the get-go, and that's what I say. That's it. That's the truth. And then from the inside, you'll learn a lot more. You really learn how serious it is. You really learn that Oduifa, what Oduifa is saying is true. It's Otito. The divination is real. What you see is real. When you hear it, people, I've been on a mat with people, and they sit there with me, across from me, and I say something to them about their ancestors. Oh, your father, this, that, and third. And they start crying. Damn, how did you know my father was passed away? It's the Oduifa tell me that. So it's still teacher. When the Odu show up, I say, okay, that's what it is. And then they say, yeah, you need to make amends with him. Spirit, you need to make offerings to your Egungun, to your ancestors. You need to do that. So it's like these different things come up. And it's always Otito. It's always the truth. One thing about we say, one of our things Ifa is Otito, the truth. Ifa is the truth. And that is the word of Olodumare. So moving from that point, just having everything solid, and me personally, I do scrutinize everything. I tried to scrutinize E5. Didn't win. It was always there, Yep.
So your path, right? So your path has some twists and turns, but them twists and turns wind up leading you to the path that you on and that you live. So
Yeah.
now the modality of coming in tradition and going under the scrutiny, you was taught under somebody who scrutinized because you scrutinized, right? So
Right.
now applying this methodology to welcoming in students in a way after you did all of this prep work, right? You got efaprep.com, but you like it's connected to your life. You understand what I'm saying? So if you looked at your life over the years, you was prepared for the position that you've been in and even reflecting on it. So now a teaching modality in that space, you now go into this place. Like, I know you can't speak about certain processes, but what was it like for you, sight, sounds, and feel of going from a outsider, insider to a practitioner full fledged, and then going to a space where now you're teaching others? What was it like for you in this way versus what it was like for you in and some of the other modalities that you were teaching?
Well, what is life for me now versus then? Well, then it was, you relied strictly on this information, that information was some, book information here and there. And you just, you didn't, it's really no ethics to it. There was really no type of ethics to it. In our tradition is an ethical tradition. It's certain things you do, certain ways you agree to elders, certain ways you don't do, certain way you talk to kids, certain way you don't do, certain things you don't do. So it's like the ethical. Now we all know ethical behavior based off of what our mothers and our fathers taught us, or our grandparents taught us. But when it comes to the tradition, you have to learn all the traditional ethical behaviors. You got to learn all these different things. And coming from the outside, coming inside, it wasn't hard for me to do that, but it was definitely something that you had to keep on your mind, because if you live your life a certain kind of way, then you might walk in the room with a Babalawo or eat an Ifa and not approach him or greet them in the right way, or whatever the case may be, and they can deem it disrespectful, you know. But moving from that modality into this and then teaching it was a natural thing for me. It's teaching is always natural, because once I get the understanding of something, and is inside of me, I'm always thinking about it. I'm always rolling it. I'm always memorizing it. And I'm trying to get it together. And I'm watching. I'm a person that if I'm learning from my elders, I'm watching very closely. My Oluwo back then would tell you, hey, listen, I knew I was his favorite student. Somebody might say he's teacher's pet, because if he walk in that room, I'm going in there every time I can. I could be sitting down watching TV, whatever I'm doing, I'm stopping whatever I'm doing, and I'm going in that room wherever he goes. I'm watching him. And sometimes I ask him questions and I say, hey, Babu, what about this, that? And he said, don't ask me anything, just watch me. And I'm like, that type of stuff. And because of that, he shared a lot of secrets with me. So because I took it on the chin. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude just was rough. And I dealt with it. I humbled myself and I said, you know what? I'm gonna sit right here and I'm just gonna watch, like he said. So one time we was in a Egbe initiation, and he did some stuff. He put some stuff on the Egbe shrine. I said, oh, I understand why they do this with Eshu now. He said, you get it? He said, see? Then he started breaking it all the way down at that point, because he knew that I picked up on it. So that was that. And from that point, he would share stuff. He would tell me, and some things, he shared with me to this day is like still here. It's like, man, unbelievable. I saw things change like this with him. So moving into the modality of me teaching was a natural thing for me to do it. It's just when I did it, moving into it, it was like I got to make sure that I'm covering this, that, and the third, because when you move into become being a Baba and you have people, you getting the green light, number one, to go into that to teach, and then moving into that and teaching is like you got to make sure that you cover the foundational information first before people start coming in. And the first thing you want to start talking about is ethics, you know, ethical behavior, because I don't want, if you saying that I'm your Baba, I don't want my name attached to some of your crummy bullcrap that you might have going on in your life, some of the things that you may be doing. You know, I don't want that. I don't want to be one that's people, because people have this microwave thought process on how things should be done, and because they know that this tradition has a lot of divinities with a lot of power and a lot of ways that you can approach them to get power to change things in your life, then people want that. They want that power. They look at the Babalawo, they look at me and say, oh, he has that power. He does that bow, he does this. I've seen him make sacrifice. I've seen him do this. I've seen things change. So people start looking at it from a perspective of like the outsiders, from a perspective of it's just magic. Let's go ahead and I got an issue with this dude at work. He looked at me a certain way. I want to throw a little something on him, and that ain't it. That ain't the way. That ain't how we move like that. But if things get serious where you're being harmed and being disrespected, then we might want to look into what we can do first, instead of being on the mode of we throw some juju on somebody and all that kind of stuff. And that's the outside way. The inside way is not like that. We have particular corpus in Odu Ifa that tells us ways to do things and how not to do, what not to do. So if you do good, you do good, but for yourself. And you do bad for yourself. No matter what the situation is, if you do good, you do good for yourself. If you do bad, you do bad for yourself. So it's all about how you approach. Yeah.
Sheesh. Yeah. Yes. So use some terminology. So for the layman, for the folks who might just be tuned in and they're not hip to, certain things, you use a term like Egbe, you use, what I'm saying? So some of the terminology for some of the folks who not hip, or they might have got some internet stuff, because I'll save that after this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because there's a lot of that stuff going on. So while I got you here, I could get your thoughts on that. So some of the terminology you had associated. So if you could break some of that down for some of the people.
Well, let's deal with Egungun. Egungun is just ancestors, ancestral lineage or ancestors. And now Egungun is not just ancestors, but Egungun is an Orisha also. Just like Oya, just like Shongo, just like Oshun, just like Olokun. Egungun but that is the ancestral lineage, Egungun. So we say Egungun, that's what we talk about. When we talk about Egbe, we're talking about what we call our heavenly mates or our astral mates. Some people say astral mates. Some people say heavenly mates. But we're talking about Egbe, in which I feel like that is a great subject matter for me, because I am an Egbe priest first. And Egbe is just your comrades, your spiritual comrades. And you can use the Egbe in different terminologies. Like, for instance, you have a group of people that you always been hanging out with from grade school, middle school, them your boys, them your girls or whatever. Y'all hang out, y'all been friends, y'all been riding or die, y'all been through things together, and no matter what, y'all always come together, y'all do y'all thing together. That's your Egbe on earth. That's Egbe Aye, Egbe on earth. But Egbe Orun, now that is your spiritual heavenly mates. That are, like, for instance, Egbe is dealing with a spiritual force in the universe of groups, right? Comrades. And in order for us to come to the earth, we all have Egbe, no matter what. Even if some people, no matter what race you are, no matter what religion you are, no matter what your creed is, everybody has Egbe, because all humans have what we call in our tradition a double. Okay, and Egbe, in order for Egbe to experience life on Earth, Egbe cannot come from the spirit world to Earth. They have to duplicate itself. So we are the duplicate. That's why we said Egbe. So if you are doing well, your Egbe is doing well. If you are struggling, your Egbe is struggling. If you are suffering, your Egbe is suffering. You understand? And the one thing about Egbe Room, our comrades, is that we make pacts with Egbe. We make agreements with our Egbe before we come to the earth. And a lot of things that we deal with in life, whether good or bad, is most of the time it's a direct reflection of what those agreements are. So even our destiny, for instance, we choose. Okay, so I call Egbe our first lineage. I call Egungun, me personally, our second lineage, because that's our physical bloodline. But Egbe is where we are first before we even come into the physical realm. We start at Egbe, and so that's what. And Egbe is a very vast subject matter. Um, is the to me is the most potent of things. One thing about it, people say one thing that won't leave you is your Ori. You know, so even though Risha will leave you once they feed, they eat, and they do their job, they gone. But one thing about it, Ori will follow you from Orun, heaven, to earth, and back to Orun. When you leave the earth, Ori goes too. Okay, but when a Babalawo or Ianifa dies, pass on, their relics and all their shrines and stuff are gone. Doesn't go with them, you know. But when Egbe is that also, because when you leave, you return to your Egbe. So
Now you said Ori.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ori.
What?
There's another.
Yeah.
I'm just talking, right? For
Right.
the people that don't, for the people that don't understand, Ori is we call it the head. In layman's terms, the head, but it has a very deep spiritual connotation. Also, it is Ori is basically where your destiny is housed, or where you the Ori is what you choose as your destiny. Okay, your head. Okay, but it's a physical, what you call Oriodo. A physical head is the representative of our spiritual head, which houses our destiny, what we choose before we come to the earth. Yeah.
Okay. 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 So now we in the internet age. We started before there was internet and all this other stuff. So we've been around for a while.
Mhm.
So I need a contrast in regards to this virtual situation. For the ways that it's good and for the ways that it's not, especially in regards to ATRs and how people come to and acclimate themselves to information, and now in general, and then in specific in regards to your way of life.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. It's a lot of misinformation on the internet. It's a lot of misinformation on the internet. So, and then there's some good information on the internet, because there are people like myself and others who are reputable priests who do share information through the internet. But then there's all kind of things. You have AI, and you have all this, that, and third. And now it's all these different things, and people are writing books that are not even priests or not even been into Ile, but they hear stuff about Oshun, or they hear stuff about Shango or Ogun, and they like, hey, this God, this divinity is this is a god of this and a god of that, and Orisha is not. We don't consider Orisha God or gods and things of that nature. And we don't, you know Although Orisha walked the earth in human form, we don't look at Orisha in that manner, because Orisha also has a different nature and natural form, or natural energy, nature, as nature spirits. Okay, so a lot of times they try to pin a lot of human characteristics on that, and people run with it. And some of it's true, some of it's like a grain. You can treat like a grain of sand. Is here, there, and the third. I don't really recommend that. I just think people should get with reputable priest, and then learn from that point on. Learn what you need to learn, so So even in my case, where um, I'm always learning, we still learning, we always learning. In this tradition, you'll never stop learning. One of my brothers, Kalade, he tells the story every time I see him. He's down in Atlanta, and he said that when he went to Nigeria one time, he was out there late at night and it's pitch black, but he saw a light on inside one of the houses of one of the elder Babas, like a elder Baba. I think he was like in his 80s, maybe close to 90, and he went into that to the house and spoke to him, and he was asking him, "Were you still up?" And this man got a light studying, he's like, "Oh no, I'm just studying. I'm just studying right now. That's all." And he walked out, and he said, "Oh, this is what this is about. This is what this is about. This man who's been in tradition from birth, elder, and he is still studying. In this tradition, it's a lifetime of study. You're never gonna learn it all. You're never gonna suck it up. You're not gonna learn every corpus of every verse of Odu. You're not gonna do it, because there's always gonna be one from another Elay somewhere that you haven't heard yet. You know what I'm saying? So it is infinite. The knowledge and information is infinite. And I say that coming from a perspective of the internet, it's hard to know what's right and what's wrong. It's hard to see. So I suggest, I've been on that for years, telling people don't be going to research on the internet, because you shooting craps again. And then if you decide that you want to go this route and come straight through the tradition, then you're going to realize that you wasted a lot of time. Because a lot of stuff that you might have learned, you go and tell it to one of your Babalawos or Oluos, they might go off on you and throw it out. So it's just best, get up under a good priesthood and learn all you can learn. That's the best way to me.
Yeah. I, I had a good laugh because I always ask the family when they come on, because if you look at the internet versus what's in the cinematic world, they have stuff on these television shows, they got stuff in these movies and all kind of stuff now, right? So they're looking at things and they don't know what they're looking at, so they associate it with it. So it's like, whether it's what the serpent in the rainbow, whether it's skeleton key, or whatever this stuff is, right? All this stuff is out there now. So that's stuff right there. But then if you look at what our children are watching, and with some of this anime, they're sliding all these other things in the anime. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they with them being impressionable and perceptive, they might see something and go somewhere else with it. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of that stuff that's out there, uh, and a lot of things that are there too. You see what I'm saying? So I definitely had to get your thoughts on that. So
Well,
I
Hollywood did a thing a long time ago, and one of the things they want to always paint is a evil, dark picture about traditional spirituality, whether it's voodoo, hoodoo, uh, Orisha worship, Apollo, whatever the case may be. They want to paint a real dark picture about it, and they've been painting dark pictures about it for a long time. and that was to basically keep us away from it. So because most of us will have grew up in a Christian background, or Western society, where this is a lot of these things are poured into your head to say this is evil, this is messed up, this is that, this, that, and the third. Then that was their thing. That was their mission, to paint the serpent in the rainbow. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some things that things can get a little dark sometimes, and it's true. But that's not the end all be all of what our tradition. When you look at our tradition for real, from the inside for real, and learn what it's about, then we have more moral responsibility, according to Ifa, than any other tradition or any other type of religion. In reality, we have more of a ethical code, and people are held accountable uh, to that, held accountable because of that. So they did their job, and now the anime. Now I've seen a few little animes here and there, and I think it was kind of dope. You know, that the children even looking into the magical thing like that. I like that. I do like that, because you gotta deal with the imagination. I think for children, as long as it's not too gory and things of that nature, I think having a child that have an imagination of things that they can do with their mind and their spirit, I think that's awesome. I think that's beautiful, because those are the children that you want to bring into the tradition and really teach them, because it starts there first. It starts there first, and if those are the people that ain't gonna doubt it. So it's like Maluwo used to be at my house, and my son would bring his friends to the house, and we'd be getting ready to do a bow. So we got like roosters and chickens and all kind of things just right here. We about to go into the reaching room, and my son bring his friends in, and his friends like, what's going on here? And Mo the Wolf was like, hey, come on in here with us. Hold that chicken, hold that rooster. Just like that. Like, you come into the house, you go, and they just walk right in, they merge right in. It's no big deal. It's like, oh, it's like because their mind is ready for it. And some of it's touching back till we already know that in order to get something in life, you have to give something. And that's the thing that has been misconstrued with spirituality, that you think that you can just call on something for something to happen for you all the time. If you ain't making no offering, you ain't making no sacrifice, no nothing. So if you're not doing that, then what are you doing? But you want things to change for you. You want things to change for your family. You want people to live. You want people to get out of their sickness. You want people to come out of their financial situations, to have better. You want people to have children, wives, husband, different things of that nature. Uh, those are the things, we must make sacrifice and offering for. And even if it's in our destiny to have that, we still should make offering and sacrifice for it, to make sure that nothing interrupts it. We should do that. So my son's friends, they came right in, and they was like, oh, my older Wo, he's speaking of Europe, but he's making a chance. He's doing old Rikis. He's making a sacrifice, whatever, and then he's throwing the OB, throwing the old Poile to see everything's accepted and everything is good. And they like, wow, make them more interested. Made them more interested in that. And some of them even came back later as if going through stuff. My nephew and his friends like, hey, man, I'm going through something, man. Can I come through? Yeah, come through. Come up here. Let's pray for you. Let's make at the move to SU, see what's going on, so we can clear your roads up, things of that nature. So they accept, even though they might be all over the internet plastering Merry Christmas and Jesus is the season and all this other stuff, but you'll see them come to the Babalawos house. Because they know that's what the real work is, and that's what a true change is. Yeah.
That's what it is. We're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
play one joint, and we're gonna come back because I want to get into these classes. I want to get into, divination. I want to get into, reading of the year. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you some opportunity to do what you need to do. But I want to play one joint and be right back. without Baba. You see how Baba ain't here cooking. You understand what I'm saying? That's what the young folks say. They say let him cook. You understand what I'm saying? So Baba ain't here cooking. You understand? So we're gonna be right back. Tell a friend to tell a friend we on live through Now's Radio and get some of these vittles that's being imparted right here.
Yes, sir.
I got the power I share. Hell, all the doom are red. Flow change like oh yeah. Tell my fans more to bread. Traffic and African rituals. I know it's far from typical. I know they calling it mythical. I just be calling it mystical. Whoa. Black magic with white fabric, they petrified. I see through the ancestors' eyes. You can't see it cause you rest your eyes. My chain hang for Ogun. That flame's lit, I'm in tune. That high giant is in the air, boy. That smoke fills up that room. I'm consumed. I laugh at y'all. Grant my people with good health. Don't talk about it, but I live it, boy. You grant my folks with plenty wealth. I walk the path of that shoot. Then I recite no jewel. 2 mouths up and 2 mouths down. Got balance made in my view. Oh yeah, bring your wind to change. Power down, I share. Arun Miller, give me purpose. Power down, I share. Throw my obies to my head. Power down, I share. Read my Odu, Ifá daily. Power down, I share. Egun got me. Ori got me. Olarun got me. Saoru got me. Ebo got me. Ajuban got me. Babawa got me. Iyawa got me. I go Obi, I go Obi, I go Obi, yo. I go Obi, I go Obi, I go Obi, yo. I go Obi, I go Obi, I go Obi, yo. Ele Mokio, Ele Mokio, Ele Mokio, Aki, I am the sun and the moon. Still I feel like Oshun. Ori prayer in the morning. Hands up all around. 4 pots for a goon goon. See my grips in the room. Throw the shells to the plate. Menchi and Della goon goon. 5 chains on my neck. The elite gates they reflect. Y'all speak, oh yeah, cool. Translation as death. Sprinkle a little IJ. All that room for an E ray. Akina Moran, I'm blowing my hand. I'm pitching the sand. Whoa. Breathe the Obi, stand with my Ile Igoki. Warrior type, I'm like a trophy. Shango power, come approach me. That's thunder, for the spirits I conjure. Wake 'em up from that slumber, right? You just call my number. Oh yeah, bring your wind to change. Power down, I share. Arun Miller, give me purpose. Power down, I share. Throw my obies to my head. Power down, I share. Read my Odu, Ifá daily. Power down, I share. Egun got me, Ori got me, Olarun got me, Saoru got me, Ebo got me, Ajuban got me, Babawa got me, Iyawa got me. I go Obi, I go Obi, I go Obi, yo. I go Obi, I go Obi, I go Obi, yo. I go Obi, I go Obi, I go Obi, yo. Ele Mokio, Ele Mokio, Ele Mokio, Aki,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to throw a little something in there for you. You understand?
I love that song. When it first came out, I think I wore it out.
So as a traditionalist, you know, things like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does it mean for you? I know that you ain't retired the bars because you still got some. You understand what I'm saying? Don't let Baba fool you. You understand what I'm saying? Now he got some bars in there. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all might see him now and be like, oh, you know, Baba Reserve. Look, let me tell you something about this brother now. He got it. He got it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so from an artist perspective and as a traditionalist, you understand what I'm saying? Like, what do things like this mean to you in regards to that?
Well, like I say, man, I love that song. I love the first one you put on too. I really love that one about what the LKs, don't touch my LKs. I love that one too. Uh, but this song right here, it really hit me when I first. Oh man, I love that. I like, I like, that it had a little trap beat to it. I'm a beat master and all that, and a lyricist. But you know, it was, for him to put all that together like that, put all that together like that, and it made sense. And then the video really just spoke to you. The visuals and things of that nature. Showing the Nephi, the priestess, and the person coming to the Elay of the house or whatever. It meant everything, man. The way he breaking down. He talking about throwing Obi. He talking about he basically swagging on it. He talking about all this stuff. Oh, Goon got mad, Eshu got mad, all that. He talking about how the Orishas got him. That's covered. He's covered because now he's throwing his Obi. He's making his offerings. He's doing his sacrifice. He's doing everything he need to do. And I just think that was dope. I mean, he swagged on it the way he swagged on it, and it was on point. It was on point. It was on point. If somebody asks a question, how you find out they're ahead of Risha, please? Oh, I can answer that now.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, do divination. Do divination. You know, it's go to a Babalawo. Find out who your head of Risha is. But more important to me, a lot of people want to know the head of Risha. It's simple, but more important to me is what do your destiny hold. You know, that's more important to me. First things first, what's your destiny hold? Because Orisha is only here to help you with your destiny. You know, remember that. And we always say we had our head Orisha, this, that, and third, and that's very important because our head Orishas is the ones that basically push for us harder. All Orishas will, but when you get Odu, if you're just looking for the Orisha, that you can just get it through the Odu. But if you get an Odu reading for your life path, and it is just going to tell you your Odu, your life path is going to tell you the divinities that come with it. So you will have multiple divinities that will come with that. One may be the lead of all, but these other divinities are also there to assist you in your life path. But just divination, simple divination, that's the best way to do it. When I first opened up IPIS, Ifá Prep, 2019, 2018, 2019. That's the basic one of the main questions everybody wants to know. I want to know who my Risha is. I want to know who my Risha is, and it's easy. Divination, find out. But more important, your destiny, because although you might find out who your Risha is, um, your destiny is more important to understand that first, so you know how to use your Risha. If your destiny is to be a fighter and Shango is your Risha, then you know how to use it. If your destiny is to be a leader, then Shango, a leader of community, then Shango is your Risha, then you know how to do that too. And you learn that through Odu Corpus also. You know how he handled things, or how Shango handled things as a community leader, or as a king. You know, or how Oshun handled situation, because Oshun comes in many ways. So if your life path is to be a wife, a pet to be this, that, then you have to look at Oshun from that perspective. But if your life path is to fight for justice for women, then you have to look at Oshun and her path on that. Now she handled that, you know. So that's that.
So you use the term divination,
Mhm.
so I want to kind of get into a little bit of that if we could. What's the purpose of divination? Is it something people need to be spooked about, scared about, or whatever the case may be in regards to a layman who's on the outside that don't have a clue what it is?
Okay. Well,
Divination and also a reading.
reading divination is the same thing. You know, divination is just getting the information from the divine. You know, we're just divining. You're basically um, asking the spirit world to show you what this is about this person, this, that, and the third, or what is, say, a situation happened, and then you come and say, I want to know what's going on. I need to figure out how I'm gonna get through this. Then you do divination, you find out how you get through it. The Odu corpus will tell you the story and what your life is gonna be, what it's gonna be, and then you're gonna figure out. You're gonna do your just the sacrifice to make sure everything goes smooth. If it's good, you want to keep it good. If it's bad, you want to turn it around. So that's what divination is, and it's nothing to be spooked about. It's nothing to be scared about. I would say the person who don't do divination should be the one that should be spooked. It should be scared because you don't know, have no idea what's happening in your life. You don't know have no idea what's going to happen in your life in the next month, the next week, or the next year, or whatever the case may be, or tomorrow for that instance. And most of the time I divine every day for myself. Uh, so it's all about that. And sometimes, by as a Babalawo, there's my job to divine every day. And most of the time I divine for myself every day to find out what my day is going to look like. And if it say that it's looking in Ayewo or in the negative, what kind of negativity you talking about? We're going to find that out. And then we're going to figure out, okay, what can I do to change the dynamics of this negativity? Okay, maybe it's a head wash. Maybe I just need to offer OB to SU before I leave the house. Maybe I should wear a certain color or something, that day, or don't wear this particular color that day if a certain old dude shows up, you know. But that's that. I say the person who don't divine should be really afraid because they're not on top of their life. You may think you may be on top of your life physically because you got all these accolades and these things that you're doing. You think you got it. You know what I'm saying? But the person who divines got the ups on everything. That's why Arumala is the number one Orisha. You know that? Because Arumala is the one he's always divining. He's always doing divination. He always wanted to know. So when enemies was coming for Arumala, he knew it before they got there. He already made the abo. He already made the sacrifice, and those enemies give him gifts. You know, so things would turn around for him because he's always ahead of the curve. And what's better than being ahead of the curve? Divining, seeing into it. This is something that our ancestors been doing for since the beginning of time. Some people have gifts. Some people audio can hear. Some people are clairvoyant; they can see. Some people can do a little bit of both. People can feel. Those are gifts, you know. But in this society, the way this society drag us down, and so much going on in our life, sometimes it's hard to tap into those gifts. Sometimes we're a little too logical to tap into our spiritual gifts. Sometimes we can't see. So divination is a tool that we use in order to see, to make sure that we on point and that we're not walking blindly in the world. And divination, or particularly Di-Fi through Ifa divination, it comes with that bow. And that is to guarantee to make sure that everything is going to be right, change for you in your life. Yeah.
That's what it is. So y'all got some classes coming up. We got some things going on. Right before we get to the classes, 2025. I'm sure y'all did a reading of the years. Do we got some general things for the people that they could look out for in regards to 2025 as a whole? Some good things, some whatever thing. What position should people be in based off of what you see?
Okay, so based off of what we do as Isheshe traditionalists, our New Year starts in June. So from June on up to June, that was our yearly reading for the year in the Isheshe community, and we had a Turokbe. and that deals with Aiku. It was good, but there's some negative things going to be happening too, like sickness and things of that nature. So we had to do Ebo to avoid that. As you know, another variant of COVID came out. You know, a few variants since then, and it was right on point through the summer and coming into the fall and now winter. We have seen people getting sicker. You know, and so that it did show that we had to do that both for that. But it was Aiku, long life, longevity, and different things of that nature. A few divinities that came with that was Ori. So we need to be making sure that we are making appeasement to our Ori throughout the year. We need to be making sure that we're making appeasement to Ifa all throughout the year, of course. Other divinities that came, Egbe and Eshuo daughter. Those are the divinities that we need to be, along with other divinities that we need to be making sure that we're making our appeasement. But we had to do the Abo, and we did the Abo for our Ile. And then the new year, the fiscal year is 2025. Only did individual divinations for those people. So I didn't do any 2025 yearly readings for our Ile and for the world. We only do our worldly readings, and it comes out of Ile Ife in Nigeria for our worldly. So we did that. Now some people come and do uh, some groups do they divination for their abos and divinations for their elect, but we do a monthly divination at both our group every month. You know, now this month we just did individual for January for the 2025. So people that came in, people from my elect, and people outside of the elect that came got divination and did that bow. So things can, and everybody had a different Odu. Everybody had a different thing that they was facing up and looking at for the 2025 fiscal year. We know that's not the real new year, but for the fiscal, I call it the fiscal because that's the start. You know, so dealing with money and this thing here. But you know, this is we are in the land of the Romans. So, well, in the mind state of the Romans, I would say it was not the land of the Romans, but in the mind state of the Romans, we in that position. So the fiscal year, people want to know what their year look like. So we do the divination, we do the abo, make sure things we work in. Some people have to get a little E5 medicine, you know, some stuff they ingest. Some people they gotta take baths and certain stuff, you know. Some people gotta just do this thing. Some people got good, some people got bad, some people got this, that, and the third. But we usually do our yearly divination for the year in June. But we do monthly Dafa and Ebo for our Ile, period. And for our Ile and the people that's part of that, we get the Dafa, people that pull their names in, we see what they'll do, come out for everybody. And then we do the work, do that bow, and we work it. Yeah.
That's what it is right there. Okay. All right. So, um, what was I about to ask you? I was about to ask you something. I'll leave it for the end. Um, let's get into the classes. Let's talk about the classes that you got coming up, what people can expect, and all of that. I'm gonna pull the website up and kind of just let me know, what's happening.
Yeah. Right now, as we speak, we on a 16-week course right now. We got a we're doing it simultaneously. We doing the OB divination course, and we doing the advanced divination course. So the OB divination course is with a rogue bowl. Learn how to divine with the OB kola nut, with the rogue bowl, and Akban and different things of that nature. So we in that class we give the whole layout of OB. We give some Oriki, some prayers, how to do it, learning the things about OB divination, where it comes from, why did it come, and why it's such a deep spiritual tool for us to use in order to get results. So we're doing an OB divination course simultaneously with the advanced divination course. And the advanced divination course, it has the OB class with the Rogbo Akban, and then we also have for people who want to learn about Opoele who are looking to be devotees of Ifa, who are serious about it, you're basically going to get the basic knowledge about Opoele, understanding certain things about Odu and how the Opoele works. And then we have a special ritual at the end of the 16 weeks for different types of cleansings and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Plus, on my Patreon, patreon.com/Ifa Prep, we also have a class already in there that's already boom. It's $50 a month, and it's I think it has probably over 30 classes already there that you can go through and look at them on Ori. It's probably about 10 classes on Ori already, 10 or 15 classes in there about Ori. Classes about Egungun all the way through. You're learning everything about what you need to do to appease your Egungun. Learning all those things. Learn how to appease the Egungun. You know, the prayers for Egungun, Egbe. Learning more about Egbe, get deep into Egbe, get really deep in Egbe. Learning about the Orikis. We have some Orin, some Egbe songs to learn in there. We have some things of that nature. And then a few people that came through those classes. A couple of them did get Egbe divinations, and a couple other ones are moving toward getting Egbe not Egbe divination, Egbe initiations. So a few other people already, couple of them already got Egbe initiations. A few others are getting Egbe initiations also. And we also have what we call Egbe readings too. So that's one of my services we do is Egbe readings to find out who your Egbe is. And it's really important to find out who your Egbe is and learn how to appease your Egbe. And your Egbe will always going to have messages for you. Because if you never talk to your Egbe, never appease your Egbe, you've been on Earth all this time, then they definitely want to have a conversation with you. They definitely want to see what's cracking. They want to see what you need to be doing to make sure that you're good on Earth, because they need to be good in Orun in heaven. So you got to make sure you take care of that so things can be smooth for you. So we do Egbe readings also. But the classes is where it's at. Like I said, we're on a 16-week course. Last week we started the first week. It's not too late for people to jump in, because if you jump in now, you can still get the classes. It's pre-recorded from the week before, and then you jump right in and catch up with the other stuff and be live right there with me in the classes to find out about the OB divination and thing. It's a very sacred tool. OB is probably the Baba Shola told me, and I tell people this all the time, that OB is the next thing, best thing to offer in divinities outside of Ej blood. Right. But when I talked to my Mola in Africa the other day, we was talking about Obi. He said Obi is stronger than anything. He said Obi is stronger than an elephant. I say, what? He said Obi is stronger than a bull, buffalo. He's talking about a buffalo. He said Obi is stronger than that. I say, what? He said Obi is the most powerful. I said, why you say that? He said, because Obi is the thing that you always gonna need. Even when you're offering, even if you're making sacrifice, you're gonna always use OB, because you're gonna throw the OB, you're gonna throw it, you're gonna put the OB inside the sacrifice, inside the offering. The OB is always, it's your divining tool, it's a messenger, and it's also food, for ingestion. So yeah, the classes is it. We got I didn't want to put it out there yet because I ain't put it on the website yet, but we got Oshe Ifa classes coming up too. So to learn how to do Oshe Ifa, the right way. If you have an Ifa shrine, if you've been initiated to Ifa and don't know how to work your shrine, if you have a hand of Ifa, Ishefa, you don't know how to work your shrine, you want to learn. If you just want to learn how to do Oshe Ifa, because you're going to get an Ifa shrine, we're going to be doing that coming up in the spring too. And also we're going to be doing the Itado going every 17 days, divination and workings with the divinity starting in February too. So we got a lot of stuff going on. And plus, like I say, initiations this year. Egbe initiations. People be traveling with me also to do Ifa initiations also. And Orisha initiations to the other divinities. We go to Africa to Ibadan. Shout out to my Baba Ifadapo, Ifalade Ifagbenro, and his Baba also, who's also having a coronation ceremony coming up in the next couple of days. That'll be in Nigeria. So it's just, this is my family. This is my Ifa family. This is how we roll. And these are the classes. This is what we're doing, man. We staying busy. If you want the knowledge, we got the knowledge over here. We help you. We walk you through. If you need divination, we got that. If you need some help, we got that too. But it's all about that, Baba. It's all about the information, all about the knowledge. It's all about how we roll with things. You dig?
Definitely. So yeah, I'm gonna be hitting you up. You know, I got the ebook series, so
Mm-hmm.
volume 8 and I think volume 8 and volume 9 will be focused on tradition. You know, the ATRs are very vast, and our spiritual systems are very vast. So, whatever we could get to prime folks who are bona fide and qualified to speak on these traditions, we allow them to speak for themselves, right? You know,
Yeah.
we allow our ancestors to speak. We allow our spirit guides to speak through those divine oracles we have in our systems, but also through our people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, I definitely be hitting you up so we can have some authenticity about what's being reported and said about our traditions. We learn our traditions from our people,
Yeah.
and not Champollion and the rest of these weirdos that they had that was never in those systems. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? That
Mm-hmm.
have a monopoly on what's being disseminated about our systems and our people. So definitely.
Most definitely. Yeah, Baba. It's important that we tell our own story,
Right.
and not tell our story from the minds of the colonizer either. That we tell it from our story from our ancestors, and like I say, our people who are still here in the tradition. We tell our own story. It's too much misinformation that has been going on for so many years that have basically either scared our people away, ran our people away from our traditions, and made them look elsewhere, or ran back to the colonizers' um, religion. Let's just call it what it is. And a lot of people have been afraid because they've been miseducated about it. And it's time to continue to educate. We need more people to educate. That's why it's important that we get the message out. That's the job of a Rumala, to make sure that the message is there. That is the job of Orisha practitioners, to also to make sure that the education is there, for people to know, for people to learn, about our traditions, and not be, so spooked out and scared and this, that, and third, and thinking everything is evil. We just had last month about SU is not Satan Day, or SU I think it was, yeah, we do it annually now, I believe. But they talk about SU. They try to. A lot of the Europeans had one particular. I can't remember the author of the book, but he the one that really basically put this information out when he was from Yoruba land, but he became a Christian, and he tried to do a parallel between certain divinities in Christianity and in the Yoruba culture, and he basically labeled SU Satan, but there is no Satan in our religion. There's no Satan in our tradition. There's no such thing as a Satan. That is Judeo-Christian uh, jargon. That's not ours, and we don't let nobody put no labels on our tradition. You can't. Nobody from the outside can't put a label on our tradition because you're not from our tradition. You don't know about our tradition. You don't know. You just think anything that's outside of what you believe is evil. That's what you think. But if because that's what you've been taught. you know. But if you don't know the walk of your ancestors, you don't know your tradition, then you're gonna look at your tradition as if your tradition is evil, as if your tradition is the enemy, things of that nature. And look at our traditions as wicked and things of that nature. But it's not, you know, but you're getting it from somebody else's perspective. And if you don't know, you don't sit in there, you don't learn, from the inside, not from the outside, because learn from the outside ain't gonna get it. You're not gonna get it, you know, because learning from the outside, your eyes are not really there. You don't have the right eyes. You're looking through the lens of colonizers, you know, and that's why you look at our traditions. A lot of people look at our traditions as this, that, and third evil, this, that, and wicked, because that's what they taught us. And it goes back to what you were saying earlier about the movies in Hollywood and how they the serpent in the rainbow and all these other different things. And it's always making whatever what we did, our traditions, make it look like it's evil, make it look like it's wicked. Oh, that's the devil, And then, of course, people automatically correlates the serpent with evil and Satan and all that different stuff like that, But it's not. But it's not. So it's all about educating yourself, and I'm saying for myself that I've educated myself, and I continue to educate myself. I've been educating myself since I was a teenager because I wanted to know. Well, everybody else was just trying to blow smoke up my ass and tell me that you need to be on this and you need to be doing this and that. I was like, I'm stubborn. I know this don't belong to me, so I'm gonna keep on following this path. I'm following my path that I'm walking down. Everybody got their own destiny in life. My destiny is not your destiny. Your destiny is not mine. Our destiny is not identical. We meet on the road, though. We meet on the road. We chop it up, and our destiny can be something that we do together, also. But we all have our separate destiny because you came from a walk of life that I didn't come from, and I came from a walk of life that you didn't come from. But we have some type of common ground where we on the same road right now. So, um, and that's camaraderie, and that's Egbe also. So that's Egbe also. So we need to learn and stop being ignorant, because if you haven't studied it and looked at it, because say for instance somebody want to tell me something about a Bible. Well, you can't tell me nothing about no Bible because I done studied it, and I studied it for years. Remember, nobody studied the Bible harder than the Nation of Islam. Nobody studied the Holy Quran harder than the Nation of Islam. Nobody did that. And then when we got into the lessons, we was all on that. So I did that. I did my study, but have you studied from our perspective, in our traditions, or what we call the ATRs in a Honey Shake tradition? Have studied that? Nobody studied that, but they judge it, but they not be in it. So, but they're afraid of it. But the people, it be sometimes the people that be afraid be the people that need it the most, and they find themselves running to it when they get into situations they need to
All
connect with.
day, every day.
You need to
All
connect.
day, every day, right?
Yeah, connect with that gung. They need to connect with their ancestors. They need to connect with their Egbe. You know, we need that. You know.
So hopefully, Baba, we could do a series. You understand? I don't got to put you, back on the delinquent list, and you know what I'm saying. Like you come back through, show some love, bring some of the fam through. Bring some of the, the student body so they can share their thoughts. You understand
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
most
That
definitely.
way, they can share their experiences and all of that too. You know what I'm saying? So that way, folks know because they might get sparked or curious or whatever it is, but then folks need to see some results. So some of the people that might be in the class in the courses, you see what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be, and they get to share their experiences, and we curate an experience where they share their stories in regards to this tradition. So
Hmm.
however you want to work it, you already know.
Yes, sir. We
Okay,
definitely can do that.
so
That'd be my pleasure. I got some great students too, man. People that's been with me for years. That's been rocking with me for years, man. People who have got initiations have been working hands on with me. That's on point. People I've been knowing for years. Astute people. inside of my elay in my school, and it's great, man. It's great, man. So we definitely can do that. And I'm glad I'm off your delinquent list. So I know I owed you another show. We ain't did a show in a long time, so
Right, right.
I know I owed
Yeah,
you another sit down. But I'm here, man. I'm here. And, we moving, man. We just keep it moving, man. Yes,
it's
sir.
all love. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. One love to
You and
you.
your fam, you and the fam. You understand? It's all love. So
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So final thoughts one more time, and let people know how they can get a hold of you, how they can get the classes, how they can leverage everything. You understand what I'm saying? And if you got social media stuff, blah blah blah, where people want to find you, you
Yeah,
know all
yeah,
that.
yeah. Our website is efaprep.com. Our Patreon, where some of the classes are, is also patreon.com/. Prep. And then we also, you know, people need to email. You can find my emails and all that inside of there. And I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram, also Facebook, Ifakolade Ifalase Ifagbenro. I'm on there also. And TikTok, same thing, same name. Ifakolade Ifalase Ifagbenro. I'm on TikTok too. TikTok is back. It took it down for a few hours and it's back now, but that's where a lot of I share a lot of my information through there. And get in touch if you want to learn. You will need a divination, or if you need classes, get in touch with me. Get into the Patreon. Shoot me a message, and we can work from there. I look forward to it.
Honestly, I definitely gonna see a lot more of my Baba over here and his student body. You know what I'm saying? As godchildren, and we be able to curate our systems and our speak in our language, so y'all don't have to go to Chat GBT and ask. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's what they do. Chat
Uh,
GBT and Gemini and all this other stuff. You understand? And Google and Siri and whatever means that they going about to try to go do it. They don't have to do all that. They can
no, sir.
they can
Just get it
come
straight.
get the real.
Get it,
Yeah, they
get
can come
it
get the
real.
real from the real. That's
Real.
it.
Get it
Yes,
real.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Come get the real from the real.
Yes, sir. Bye bye.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. Any more questions in the audience? Anybody have any questions out there?
Any more questions? Any more questions before we go?
If I don't have no questions, that means I did a real good job.
Hey, you definitely laid it out.
I'm about to
You
cover
definitely laid
everything.
it out. Right,
Uh, but I'll be looking for the questions. I want people to ask me anything. I love to ask.
right. That's
I
right.
think I got that back in the days when I was rolling with the underground lecture circuit with Bobby Hemmett. Now, you know,
Right.
that's the biggest thing. You got to be on your toes. You got to know your stuff. In order for because people are gonna ask you all kind of stuff. But then that's my thing. I feel like I don't know all. I don't know it all, but I do know a little bit that I can share, and that's how
So
we roll.
since you mentioned that a couple of times, your biggest takeaway from those circuits, because you know I know, but you understand what I'm saying? Your biggest takeaway from those circuits, uh, as a whole, in that regard.
I love those circus band back then. You know, not so much now because it ain't nowhere near like it used to be. But I love those circus back then, especially for someone that came up under a lot of the knowledge back in the '90s and stuff, and coming up and trying to learn as much as you can. Those VHS tapes for back then of Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Delbert Blair. Dr. Delbert Blair, man, scientist, scientist. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, man, Dr. Ben, Dr. John Henry Clark. These these people, man, these brothers and sisters laid out some very powerful, strong foundations, and I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for none of them. Because all those VHS tapes from then pushed me into the lecture circuit. you know. So I end up watching those tapes. I was hanging out with, like I said, one of my brothers from the Nation of Gods and Earth. We was always hanging, and I was doing some street stuff back then, and we went over this dude's house, and he had a Bobby Hemmett tape on in the background. Bobby Hemmett was saying some stuff about uh, some esoteric stuff, but he's mentioning Elijah Muhammad, so that really kind of jailed with me. So I was like, oh shit, what are you talking about? You know, who was that on there that y'all playing? I was on some Roster's house, they had these dreads and stuff, man. What y'all there listening? Who's that dude in there talking? I said, man, I want that knowledge. I want to get on that because he was dropping. So at that time, that whole weekend, we ended up going to the African Arts Festival, and we ran into the dude who had the VHS tapes. He was from Carolina. Well, he lived in East St. Louis, but he used to live in Carolina. Came out of a military base in Carolina, and dude had the information. He had all this stuff. He had a big duffel bag of VHS tapes. Hey, I got this tape on this. I got Dr. Africa. I got this. I got that. I'm like, man. And my partner was like, man, that's dude Bobby Hemmett that was talking on that one video you liked. I said, give me that. Give me that. And them VHS tapes got me, and I got them tapes, and I was listening to them tapes every night, man. I was like, man, it was feeding my soul. And I was like, what can I get more? So I ended up hooking up with the dude who had the information and knowledge and stuff. And he was getting everything from out of town, and me and him became best friends. You know, and he was heavy into the Kemetic side, so he had me on my breathing exercises and the hekkas and the chants, and then he took me to the Source Society and the ceremonies and rituals and stuff. He the one brought me to that part. But then I kept listening to these tapes, and I kept getting more information, and I was sharing it with this one sister. I called her my aunt because she was my elder, Linda Davis. May she rest in peace. Keep out to Linda Davis. Me and her got together and ordered a big thing from Serious Times back in the days. We spent thousands.
Yeah.
And we ordered a big thing. We started duplicating our own tapes and stuff back then. And from that point, I was like, man, I want to meet that brother Bobby Hemmett, man. I want to meet that dude. She said, oh, I can reach him. So she called him up and put me on the phone. I said, hey, man, I want you to come to St. Louis, man. I'm going to do a lecture, bring you here. And he came, flew out, brought him out. Stayed in my crib. You know, we hung out. He did 2 9-hour lectures back to back. He's supposed to be coming for one day to do a lecture. That house was packed, bro. Then he did then he did another night, 2 nights in a row, because they said we want to see you come back. So we came back, and people just impromptu. The dude at the bookstore was like, yeah, you can come back. People came through, fell through the next day, 9 hours. Then he was at my house already standing there. So the next day, I said, I want to do a question and answer thing on the Dark Side Masterpiece. So it was me and my
remember that.
Yeah, we
I
did
remember it.
Yeah, we did the Dark Side Masterpiece. So and right from that point, man, I got my brother Shabazz out in New York, in Brooklyn, man. Big up brother Shabazz, my brother. And then
opened the productions.
Opened the productions, man. I rode out there and I did some lectures with him and Bobby, and everything went, some things went kind of, it was a little rift in the market, but wherever I go, man, that's where it happens, man. I shake them up, But at the time, we did that, and I got on lecture circuit. I traveled, and it was good. But for that was cool for that time and that point for me, I don't subscribe to it now because I'm supplanted. I got a foundational knowledge where I don't really deal with a lot of things that come out of that realm anymore, because to me in my mind it's always hit and miss, because I hear what we call it in the gods and earths, a lot of pack math,
Right.
A lot of pack math, a lot of people just creating stuff out of their head, think they deep, and then they come out here, they talking all this other, that, and third. It's like, man, let's get some strong foundational knowledge. But that's my take away from it at this particular time. It ain't really what it is. And then some of the guys that came on after the lecture circuit died down, everything became internet and came on YouTube and all this other. Some of these people came. I was like, I can't rock with it. I can't see myself listening to it. I'd rather be studying on some real stuff, not from somebody that's creating something out their mind to say that this mean this mean that, and this, that, and third, and all that shit. So I'm not with that. At one point I was, because we want to be deep. We all want to be deep, right? And we studied and read books and all these different things of that nature. But that's what it was, bro. And hey, it served me well. It served me well because it put me on. It helped me. It was one of my stepping stones to my path. Now it helped me. It helped me big time. It helped me. So if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing because all the good, all the riffs, all the negativity, all the good stuff that came out of that, uh, hey, it got me to where I am today. So I don't knock it. I just don't subscribe to it anymore. There's a few people out there I really did when I rock with, but the underground lecture circuit ain't what it was. It ain't like that no more. It ain't like that. It's not like you're going up to New York no more and you're going into the auditoriums and stuff. Everything's on YouTube. And that's cool too because we live in this type of society. Everything is fast. You just call me up, hit me up. Hey, we're gonna do a lecture tomorrow. Okay, boom, shoot me up, boom, give me a flyer, put it out there. We on here, so that's how we do it, and that's cool. That's cool, But I don't really subscribe to to me in my mind. I call them new agers. There's
Right.
no disrespect to them, but those are new agers to me. No matter what you can put the black spin on it. You can put the hotep on it and all that. But it's just new agers to me, you know. You ain't really fighting no revolution over the internet like that, you know. The revolution comes from within inside. Everybody got a destiny they got to follow. Then they give it their own egg base to change the things in society, and that's how we work. You work from within your camaraderie for each egg bay to change society. Each egg bay has a different part they're gonna do. People gonna be on a health tip. Some people gonna be on the spiritual tip, the metaphysical. Some people gonna be police and shit. You know what I'm saying? Some people gonna keep things in order. Some people gonna do the ceremonies and the rituals and things of that nature too. So it's all good. It's all good, and that's my perspective on it. No knock on nobody, no none, but that's uh, solid foundational information, knowledge with a lineage attached to it, because that's where the lineage is where it's at. If you don't have a lineage, then to me, you just really just sit in the air. You have no belonging to. It's just like nationality. It's just like nationality from a spiritual perspective. You know, you don't have, people calling themselves different races, different things of that nature, and all this other stuff, but nobody has no nationality, you know. So you basically water the state, you know, not really functioning in your full capacity, from that perspective. And then in this perspective, from a spiritual lineage, also it's the same thing, because it's no particular spiritual lineage. It's like nationality. You don't have a nationality, you don't really have a spiritual lineage. You just out here, you know. So, and that's how it goes, and that's how I see it. And everybody got a right to see it the way they see it, want to see it. But I see it from my eyes. That's my perspective. Yep.
That's what it is right there.
I heard
Bob, we
that.
got a final word for the people before we get up out of here.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I gotta find a word. Uh, Pay attention. Number one, pay attention to your Ori, the places you're going in life. Stay connected to your ancestors and their lineage. That's the best way, in my opinion. Stay close, stay connected to your ancestors and their lineage. We have a verse in E5 that say, before we claim any Orisha, that we should claim our father's lineage. Before we claim any Orisha, we should claim our mother's lineage. Before we claim any Orisha, we should claim our Ori. That's our Isheshe. So our mother's is our Isheshe. Our father's lineage is our Isheshe. They say the male genitals is our Isheshe. The female genitals is our Isheshe. Where you come from is your Isheshe. And that goes all the way back. And it also go back to Erosu Meji, which talks about Ori, but I always connected with Egungun. And no matter how far you travel, a river never forgets its source, you know. So no matter how far we travel, a river never forgets its source. We always got to stay connected to our source, you know, and the true source is what our ancestors left for us on this path. You know, I'm not just talking about our immediate ancestors, our great mothers, grandfathers, and things of that nature. I'm talking about them and the ones from our ancient past. Because somewhere between there and our grandmothers and great grandmothers and things of that nature, there was a rift that separated our traditions and our culture. So, and that's what we have to do. We have to bring back, like we used to say in the God's Earth, you gotta swim 9,000, you know. You gotta swim 9,000, you know, swim 9,000 miles to go get it, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got our Baba in the building. Okay, he's gonna be back. He's gonna bring the fan back. You understand what I'm saying? And we're gonna curate this righteously. You know,
Yes,
time
sir.
is out for the illusion. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna get the real from the real. We're living it in the actionable space. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
Love and
sir.
honor to you, Baba. Love and honor to your family. You understand what I'm
Brother,
saying?
Dupoyo, we appreciate
All
you, man.
right. You Dupe for your time and your love and for your jewels. You understand?
Dupoyo, sir.
We out of here, y'all.
All right, Adabo.
Otabo.
This tie here RBG, repatriation the situation. I just want to let y'all know I hear all that shit y'all talking. You know in your heart of hearts you can't fuck with this. You knows that. Why I'm tripping, y'all knows that. Let's start talking, let's get into it. Whoa, hold up, what they talking about? I hear you. Matter of fact, fuck all that they talking about. Fuck all that yakety yak, wanna run they mouth. Machete clappity clap, oh goon run them out. Cross the border, show say arrow, hunt them down. Babalawos, I ain't clean off, it ain't nothing now. 30,000 in the air, my phone still on. Writing rhymes, earphones, with the kill on. Get the skill on, little homie, the real on. EI's getting the chill on, watching me get my meal on. Take a stand in the wreck, get my build on you. You disrespect the whole set and get your still on. More do where if you can, get your bill on. Debit card swipe up performance is getting tighter. I'm older and plus I'm nicer the motion it I sip on. Most of y'all skip the protocol. Trip on forces and slip, bust your head. Train of thought wreck, you dead, didn't do what your we goon said. Now it's cold red, skeptics is begging to get my hill on. Back like I never left, proper like a sweater vest. I'm the ancestors' favorite rapper, Megadeth. That's true. No guitars though, just a hard flow. That's true. Nicest priest on these beats as far as bars go. A Josha Eli's on my chest as far as scars go. Stars go, the far go, stand and rock for photo ops. Bypass their own hood like they don't know the block. Faking culture shots like they forgot them struggles. All befuddled when that muzzle blast cats be like. Suffering succotash beats, concrete, street with sophistication. Repatriation, we deep, baby. Plus RBG certified, fly like the butter with the golden box. Cut her hello, yeah. She's so flirtatious, smile like the Nile, her booty so outrageous. Classic yet refreshing, just to know you is a blessing. Peach snaps in the flukes, here's a toast to patience. Oh yeah, a closed mouth don't get fed. She came to bed and woke up with your moja on her head. I just wanna see the fam blossom. Inhibitions, I lost them, I'm feeling awesome. My shit. Oh man, Sundiata, I told you they weren't fucking with me, car.
You need to ask yourself that. Why do you eat food? You need to ask yourself, what is food? Because we got consumables, as acidic, dry, whatever you want to call it, and then we got alkaline, wet, real food. We got fake food and we got real food. Now, you growing up in this world, I don't know how old you is. If you my age, you 20, you 28, 29, we is the last ones to know what real is. These jits don't know what real is because they being raised on the fake. So they put the germ in the seed. Roundup ready. They put the germ in the seed. They got fake seeds. So I'm telling you, this is war.
Yeah.
This is fucking war. You got to learn the real and you got to decipher from the fake because it's getting hard to tell. And that's my message.
You cannot go without this book, and let me explain why. Voices of the Diaspora, written by Knowledge Born Allah, takes you through countless and countless different blacks. From our scholars, our warriors, our great sisters, and even entrepreneurs. It speaks to the past, the present, and the future. There's even an action plan for us that are serious about businesses that we wanted to take on. Entrepreneurship is one of the first things that he speaks about. And if you're an avid reader, this is a 5-part series. So this is not only a great resource for ourselves, it's a great resource for us as parents. We can teach it and incorporate it into our lesson plans for our children.
Classic Tone Production.
Sitting in the darkness, thinking like a marksman. So cold as ice, fine nigga, where your heart went. I'm big in this apartment, I'm bigger than this building. I'm trying to make $1 million, one better for my children, one better for my moms, a lot more for my grams. I'm an uncrowned king, still trying to be a man. Y'all wouldn't understand how I'm living off the land or the supply and demand, trying to get all I can. I'm a rebel to America, fell in love with Erica. Fuck what you heard, nigga, listen what I'm telling you. Every day a kid gets murdered in the hood, but now when the burbs they getting murdered over hoods. We don't rep Rack City, we rack in every city. If you rack, nigga, hit me, come out and rack with me. I'm trying to catch 50 in a 400 mil. Tell Lighty I'm back and I'm looking for a deal. For life is for a real. Rebel to America, banging on the system. Won't be a victim, I'ma hit him up, bang him in the neck, in the gut, and I won't stop banging to the coffin shut. I'm a outlaw, rebel to America, banging on the system. Won't be a victim, I'ma hit him up, bang him in the neck, in the gut, and I won't stop banging to the coffin shut. I'm into it, every step I take is so intimate. Walking like a man, I ain't limping or pimping shit. How much would I give for this? And I'm looking for the bullets that fit into the clip for this. Watch who you do business with, cause ain't nobody a man of your fan when that fan his shit. We tryna blow like handkerchiefs, tryna blow like the girl on your mirror, your man to sniff. There's a global demand for this. Spanish kid, revolutionary but gangster shit. You can read the game in this cancer if you study the manuscript of who the young lords of Black Panther was. I'm an outlaw, rebel to America, banging on the system, won't be a victim. I'ma hit him up, bang him in the neck, in the gut, and I won't stop banging to the coffin shut. I'm an outlaw, rebel to America, banging on the system, won't be a victim. I'ma hit him up, bang him in the neck, in the gut, and I won't stop banging to the coffin shut.
Homem tudo, lona tudo, tudo lini, tudo laroba, tudo ifalola, tudo é bumbum, tudo hecho, tudo alawei coco e fabi. Ibayen tonu, que te embelece ni olo do mare. Bobo awo I alocha oloricha, bobo buro mo alanya, bobo apetevi, bobo mo kekere, bobo aleyo que kowaile.
Knowledge born. What's the science, baby?
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them that in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? So no more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get
And
back
that
to
motive
the
is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.